back to my bench. I was not initially going to show fixing this radio because, quite frankly, it was a pain in the neck. But then I thought about it and I said, you know what, why not? There's nothing else on the web about it at all that I can find. And we may as well show you guys what I did. This is a NordMende, I guess, Globetraveler Jr. It is a 4-band radio from Germany. And it's quite a good radio, actually, once you get it working. It has low, very low long wave from 230 kilohertz up through 400. It has a standard broadcast from 5.5 to 16 and a little bit more. And then it has this thing that says 49M over here. That's 49 meters. From 5.95 megahertz up to 6.2 something megahertz for shortwave. And then it's got 41. This is not megahertz, this is 41 meters. So it goes 16 meters to 41 meters. Quite a long range and very, very tight to tune into. And I'll put up the frequency ranges of those on the video here. And then it's got FM, and it is American FM. So this this is the export model of this. And it is one ridiculously complicated mechanical radio inside. And that was actually basically what was wrong with it. And I'll show you what I had to do. But we got... There's your tuning. Here's the knobs over here. I got the knobs off of it. And on the side here, we've got, I don't know exactly what all these things are for, but there's a, what is that thing? I think this is a recorder output. This goes to a recorder. It looks like a little recorder thingy there. There's your speaker output or headphones, power in, and antenna in. I haven't even checked to see what that is. It takes a 5-pin, little standard 5-pin plug. On the bottom, we've got inputs for batteries. Takes D cells, 5 of them, I guess, 7.5 volts. And on the bottom, several screws to hold it in, and a remote control down here that you can hook up to the thing. I can find absolutely no information on this radio whatsoever. There's lots of this NordMende literature online, but nothing for this particular radio at all. It's in actually pretty good shape for as old as it is, except for what I'm going to show you. Let's take the top off. Alright. The thing about this radio, I'm going to put the knob back on here just so I can turn it, is it's got these are your band switches. You know, that's the long wave, medium wave broadcast of 49 megahertz or 49 meters. That's the shortwave bands here, and this is your FM, and this is FM AFC, and in AM it's narrowband AM. Has an antenna over here, and it has interesting tone control, which I'll show you a little later on. But here was the problems we had on this radio. See if I can get down in here a little bit and show you what's in this thing. Alright, if you look right down here, there's a couple of gears, if you can see them. Those little gears right there, that one there, and that one there. Well, when you push the, right now it's in FM mode. If you watch when I push the shortwave, that whole thing, this little bar or rotator here slides down so that there's a little gear here. Can we get down a little closer, maybe? And still focus. Focus. No. We're going to have to do this the old-fashioned way, I guess. Alright, get a little light off to the side, maybe that would help. Yeah. I can't tell how well focused that is, but you watch that. See that move right there? This one makes contact behind the bar antenna, and then when I go down, it loses contact there, and it makes contact right there. There is one little tip that goes in and makes contact with this gear here, and one little tip that makes contact with that gear here. Both of these gears were broken. They were split right in half, where the screws go through, like right there, has the little set screws, two of them. Let's see, there's one there and there's one there. Okay, and both of them were split where the set screws go through. I went through immense gyrations with this, and I finally ended up printing on my 3D printer in nylon new gears for this. The gears themselves don't take any kind of strain because there is a locking collet inside the gear that actually connects to the shaft. But you only have a couple of millimeters of distance. That's it. A couple millimeters of distance when you change gears. There is an adjustment over here on the front. We'll pull this back up again. That it's right here. There is a little adjustment that slides this whole section back and forth so that you can align it once you get them in there. But these gears, these were a pain. The original gears were worn. Well, the gears themselves were not worn down, but they were broken. But the little tip that's on this stationary section that makes contact with one of the little notches in these gears is worn down. So I had to decrease the gears from 32 to 20 teeth. It doesn't matter how many teeth there are as long as it makes, because it's not a gear ratio thing here, to make sure that that little worn down tip would get inside of these. That took several days to figure out and get it done. Also, down on here, we've got another little animal that was busted. Let's see if I can get down here and show you this. This gear here, if you look at it, let's bring it around, has a little plastic piece that's part of the gear set itself, that and a nut that's underneath there that slides in, that this little set screw goes through and makes contact with the shaft down the bottom, drives this gear. This is all one piece that's held in by these two straps, and it drives this bar back and forth inside of this coil. I believe this is used for low band, for 200 to 400 kilohertz. But I had to print this one too, so I had to make this gear and I did all this stuff in Tinkercad, and it was interesting, let's put it that way. But right now, what we've got left is this. When you tune this gear pulls this piece in and out of this coil, which is tuned by this little piece here that goes in and out of this coil. This is your adjustment for it. So, and this is broke because this piece quit turning correctly, and it got out of alignment, pushed it up against the side, and stripped it out of there. So what I need to do is put on my geek glasses so I can see what I'm doing. I need to see if we can get this gear. Let's see. It goes that way in there and that way in there. Yeah, see, it's... I have a feeling that is completely stripped. And I'm not sure. I think. Let's see how this works. Going out, I expect it to work just fine. And it stops right there where it's supposed to. Coming back in. Appears to be holding. But we really kind of need to adjust this out a little more, because it should be in the center of that, as far as I can tell. So we'll pull this out a little bit, pull that down a little bit. Whoops, sorry. Pull this down a little bit. Hopefully. There we go. And screw it back in. We're going to go with center here, because like I said, there is nothing about this radio anywhere. I cannot find it in any schematic or... That's about perfect. Nope, see? Well, I think it's just going to have to stay threaded in there a little bit. Of course, it is backwards, of course. Yeah. Yeah, see, it's not... Alright, well... They're centered. What can I do about that? Well... Why you loose? Don't know. I'm gonna have to think on this for a minute. I wonder, maybe super glue, although, you know what I can do? Tell you what I'm gonna do, and I'll be back in a minute. All right, we're back. I didn't film what I did here because it was extraordinarily too fiddly to do this, but let me explain what I did. I took this little assembly out, these two screws, pull it out, and took, pointy thing here, took this apart, put some baking soda inside of this little part here, Let's see if I can get you down here. Maybe you can see a little better. Okay. Okay. Can you? I don't know. Anyway, some light maybe? There. Yeah, so I took it apart, put the baking soda down in this hole, put the set screw or adjustment screw back into the hole, just so that it was even. Put a drop of super glue on the end here where it's open, and then screwed this back and forth until it locked up. Baking soda and super glue makes a very strong little bond that's just, well, it's not unbreakable, but it's pretty strong. And the problem we've got is super glue itself does not stick to nylon worth a hoot. And all these are nylons. But at any rate, super glue, the original cheap stuff. Anyhow, now let's see if we can get this over to the side here so you can see. Now, when I tune it, the whole thing moves together like it's supposed to. There is a ferrite rod sticking off of this little movable thing here that goes inside of this coil, and that's what does the extra tuning. So that appears to be okay. I'm not going to mess with it anymore. This is a very old radio, and it's not, I don't expect it to be absolutely perfect, and I hope he doesn't either. But I'll tell you what, let's apply some power. This takes 7.5 volts and negative tip, and it draws about 240 milliamps on receive. We're not going to be able to pick up anything in here except for noise. But I don't think I'm on the highest of the bands. Well, whoa, loud. Yeah, nothing but AM noise. If we go to the AM band, though,
to EW Radio's YouTube channel, Facebook page. Use the chat
there we
feature
go.
there to put your question, comment,
Things does sound very good.
And Jeff Burson will get it. Now,
as I was saying before, though, this thing has a very interesting squell or tone control. You push it down for bass. Here, I'll show you.
Your initial interaction with us live here on Women of Grace Live. So please do.
It has from bass to some treble.
Lots of ideas about this,
and then you pull this
while
up,
you're doing something else, kind of a thing.
and it goes lots of treble to some bass.
Let's just do it right
That's
now.
pretty
Let's go to
interesting.
Judy. She's in Cleveland, Ohio. Sirius XM 130 is the way she's with us. And Judy, you're a first-time caller. I am so happy you're with us today. Welcome.
That's on the AM band. Now you'll notice when I tune this thing, on these first three, that's the low band, or, well, what do they call that? Long wave, medium wave AM broadcast, 49 meters, that big long one from 16 to 42 meters, and this is FM. And you notice when I'm in these bands, this dial moves. When I'm in FM, just this pointer moves.
witnessed by the airport. Imagine feeling the freedom of 20/20 vision without the...
What I do, I get to know my patients. I get to actually
Beautiful,
do
huh?
something that helps them.
And it has a really good AFC. I'm off to the side a good ways here.
I wouldn't trade it for the world, and I know my dad is on my
Locks
shoulder
it right
every
in.
day that I operate. I'm Dr.
So, anyhow, I think I got this thing working. It wasn't any electronic stuff on here.
If you have a passion...
It was, it was all mechanical. The one thing that I did have to do was tune it a little bit on the shortwave bands to get it to track. Anyhow, this also, by the way, has an internal antenna. This is the internal HF antenna, and on the bottom here it's got an antenna trimmer. You pull this off and there's a little cap for trimming this antenna. I don't think it does anything for this one. That's just a bar, but hey, this was something else.
I didn't understand.
Oh boy. My phone decided to talk to me again. Alright, this thing was something else to fix. It was fun, and a whole lot of experimentation. I'll throw up a picture here of all the little pieces that I tried first. I tried making collars around the old gears. If I can find the old gears here. No. They'll be in pictures that I'll put up here. But I tried all kinds of stuff to make it work, and I ended up having to print all new gears. One of the other things that was bad with it is these guys were mashed, and it would make awful scratching sounds when you tuned it because they were touching. So you gotta get those on the what they call a bread slicer here, this capacitor tuning cap. They were pretty well mashed against each other, but that was about all the electrical stuff that it took. We'll take a quick look at the main board. This is the main board. This is the low band tuning over here, and these are your 5 bands. This is for tuning this thing that we just fixed. And these are your 5 bands and a antenna tuning for medium wave. So, and this is the FM down here, all by itself. Just a little FM tuner. So, there you go. A Globetraveler Junior. Back up and running again, and we hope it stays that way for a while. Anyhow, don't want to work on one of these again, and if you've got one of these and it's busted up here, if you contact me, I'll send you the STL files to print your own gears. You have to use nylon. I tried PLA and it's just not strong enough. You have to use nylon, which I printed at 245 degrees, 30 degrees Celsius on the bed, 100% infill, and the highest resolution I could print with my 0.4 millimeter nozzle on a Creality Ender 3D Pro, and it worked. I was happy. It worked pretty well. Anyhow, there you go. Hey, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. I need some more subscribers. I'm only up to 960 or something like that. So anyhow, let me know what you think. Comments below. Till next time.